Good afternoon, class. We have seen sodium channel blocker, then calcium channel blocker, how it works to stop temporarily the transfer of nerve impulses from one cell to another cell, and how it results into the treatment of convulsions or seizures. Okay, so in case of sodium channel blocker or calcium channel blocker, what it does, they binds to the receptor, and after binding to the receptor they will perform their function of inhibition of or to decrease the activity of these one. Similarly, the next mechanism of anticonvulsant drug is to act on GABA receptor. Okay, so how they act on GABA receptor? Binds to GABA receptor, they will perform their function. But there are also some drugs, okay, which can act as anti-seizure or anticonvulsant other than binding to the receptor or without binding to the receptor. Okay, so in such diagram, just go through this diagram, you can come to know how the other drugs works. They are all these drugs, they are called as GABAergic drug, but they work by other mechanism other than binding to the receptor. Okay, now for example, any neurotransmitter, when it is synthesized or secreted, what happens? It undergo different types of phase, generally the three phases. One is the binding to the receptor to show the activity. Second one, they undergo metabolism. Third one, they undergo storage. But sometimes the neurotransmitter which comes into the synaptic cleft, they also experience another fate of these drugs, and that is reuptake. That is the uptake or reuptake of these neurotransmitter again into the neurons. Okay, so it can say that there are four phases of the neurotransmitter. That is the first one, that is binding to the receptor and show the activity. Second one, their metabolism. Third one, storage. Fourth one, that is the reuptake of these neurotransmitters. Okay. Now what happens if they bind to the receptor? They will show the activity. For the GABA includes the Cl minus channel. So we have to provide agonists which can act on GABA, which will increase the activity of GABA. Okay, that is the one part. That is the GABAergic drug. So the drugs like benzodiazepam, barbiturates, what it does, they bind to the GABA receptor and they facilitate the opening of these Cl minus channel, that is the frequency and time of their opening, so that more amount of Cl minus it can enter into the cell. Are you getting my point? When it enters into the cell, it may result into the hyperpolarization and they may remain in the polarization state, so that there is a resting state, so no transfer of nerve impulses. Okay, so that is one part where barbiturates, benzodiazepam, they bind to the receptor. Next one, what we are seeing, they undergo metabolism, GABA. So we have to stop or we have to decrease the process of metabolism of GABA. So which enzyme is responsible for the metabolism of GABA? So the drug GABA T. The T indicates transaminase. So this GABA T is actually responsible for the metabolism of GABA. Where the metabolism of GABA takes place, the concentration of GABA decreases, which can bind to the receptor. Hence, what we have to do, we have to decrease the metabolism of GABA, so that less amount of GABA can undergo metabolism and more amount of GABA or their concentration will increase, so that they can bind to the receptor and they will perform their activity of opening of Cl minus. That is the second way. One, barbiturates benzodiazepam, what it does, they bind to the receptor, they will increase the timing and frequency of opening of Cl minus. Second one, they inhibit the metabolism. Third one, that is the third one is that the reuptake. So here GABA, it came into the this part, a bind to the receptor, then they will perform their activity. But some part of this, it again enters into the neurons. It is called as GABA reuptake. So this is performed by the transporter system that is called as GABA transporter. So if we inhibit the GABA transporter, then more amount of GABA will remain here and it can bind to the receptor. But again, we are giving the we are allowing them for the reuptake. So again GABA undergo different fate, that is again they undergo metabolism, again their concentration will decrease and it will hurt the binding of GABA to the receptor. So we have to avoid the GABA transporter, we have to inhibit the GABA transporter so that there will be no reuptake of the GABA. So in this way the different drugs act by this way. So this GABA uptake can be inhibited by a tiagabine. Vigabatrin is responsible for the inhibition of enzyme called as GABA transaminase. Okay, so in this way, other GABAergic drugs, GABA modulators, they work by this way. So GABA modulators मध्ये फक्त benzodiazepam किंवा barbiturates लिहायचं नाही. GABA modulators, it includes this type of drugs also. Okay, so as we have discussed, GABA transaminase. So what is GABA transaminase? So as the name indicates, transaminase. So it is an enzyme. GABA transaminase is the enzyme. What is its function? The function of GABA transaminase is to transfer a amine group from GABA to other compound. In this way, the metabolism of GABA takes place. So transaminase means transfer of amine group. So which amine group? The transfer of amine group from the GABA to other compound, which results into the metabolism of GABA. Okay, how the reaction takes place? So GABA plus 2-oxoglutarate, then enzyme transaminase transfer amine group from GABA to this part. So it part turns into the glutamate, and this GABA it turns to the succinate semialdehyde. So transaminase causes the metabolism of GABA. How it causes the metabolism of GABA? It transfer a amine group from GABA. So the concentration of GABA decreases due to its metabolism, and it will result into the decrease in the binding of GABA to the receptor and to decrease the activity. So if we inhibit the enzyme transaminase, there is no transfer of amine group from GABA to other part, that is the oxoglutarate. Hence GABA remain intact, and this GABA can bind to the receptor to perform its activity. Okay, so the drug vigabatrin is the example of GABA transaminase inhibitor. Okay, so this is the structure of vigabatrin. So how it works? It causes the breakdown of, inhibit the breakdown of GABA. So it is the structural analogs. It does not bind to the receptor. Okay, so vigabatrin is called as suicide inhibitor. It is called as suicide inhibitor of GABA transaminase. Okay, why it is called as suicide inhibitor? Because if you observe the structure of vigabatrin, it consists of amine group. Okay, so the enzyme GABA transaminase, it transfers the amine group from this vigabatrin to these 2-oxaglutarate. लक्षात आलं, ज्यावेळी आपण विगाबॅट्रिन हा ड्रग देऊ त्यावेळी विगाबॅट्रिन मधला जो अमाइन ग्रुप आहे that amine group transfer to the 2-oxaglutarate. There is no transfer or there is no transfer of amine group from GABA. So GABA remain intact. When GABA remain intact, it can bind to the receptor. So when drug vigabatrin is given, so vigabatrin, the amine group from vigabatrin is transferred to oxaglutarate, and this oxaglutarate remains into the L-glutamate. There is no metabolism of aminobutyric acid, so GABA remains as it is. Hence, GABA can bind to the receptor, but itself it undergo the metabolism. The vigabatrin's metabolism होतो, and due to that it is called as suicide inhibitor of GABA transaminase. So it is inhibitor of transaminase means it does not inhibit the transaminase. Instead of inhibiting transaminase, what it does, it itself undergo the transamination reaction, and the amine group from vigabatrin is transferred to the oxaglutarate. Okay, so it is called as suicide inhibitor. म्हणजे तो स्वतः गाबाला वाचवतो आणि स्वतः तिथे मेटाबोलाइज होतो. That's why it is called as the suicide inhibitor. So in the exam they ask the question, what is GABA T? So when they are asking GABA T, that means GABA transaminase. Don't confuse with GABA transaminase and transporter. So transaminase is the different part, transporter is the different part. Okay, so the transaminase, that is GABA T. GABA transporter means other part, and only GABA T means GABA transaminase. So they may ask question why it is called as suicide inhibitor. Like this may ask the question. So vigabatrin itself undergo metabolism, that is a transamination reaction instead of GABA. Hence it is called as suicide inhibitor of GABA transaminase. Now we are moving to the next drug, tiagabine. So already I have told tiagabine is responsible to inhibit the GABA reuptake, or it is the inhibitor of GABA reuptake. So it is GABA reuptake inhibitor, that is it blocks the GABA transporter 1 which is responsible for the reuptake of GABA. Okay, so already we have seen ज्यावेळी नर्व्स मधनं GABA बाहेर पडतात to bind to the receptor, some of the GABA it again enter into the neurons. So how it enters into the neurons? There is one transporter system is present, and that transporter system is called as GABA transporter 1, that is GAT1. So this GABA transporter 1 is responsible for the reuptake of GABA, and when again GABA enters into the neurons, again it undergo metabolism, secretion, storage. So its more amount of GABA it converts into its metabolism process, and less amount of GABA can bind to the receptor. Hence, it is necessary to inhibit this transporter system, that is we have to inhibit GABA reuptake, and this work is done by the drug called as tiagabine. So tiagabine is said to be the GABA transporter inhibitor or GABA reuptake inhibitor. Okay, so this is about the tiagabine. Next drug, valproic acid. So just go through the structure of valproic acid. It having the acidic group. Here 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So C3H7 is present on both the sides. Okay, so it is called as valproic acid or valproate. Generally, it is said that the valproic acid by all these mechanisms, but it is also said that the mechanism is uncertain. We cannot confirm it can undergo metabolism by this way or this way. So it is uncertain its mechanism of action. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 carbons are there. So it is pentane. Acid is there. So it is pentanoic acid. And on other part, 1, 2, 3. 3 carbons, that is propyl. So it is called as propyl pentoic acid. So actually numbering starts from first carbon of COH, then reverse order. So at the second position there is a presence of other C3H7, hence it is called as 2-propyl pentanoic acid. Okay, so valproic, they can be present in this form, it can be present in the 2-ene form, or it can be present in the 4-ene form. So it is the unsaturation part of the valproic acid. So these are the active derivatives of valproic acid. So we have told that it can block calcium channel, it can block sodium channel, it acts on the GABA. So on GABA, it acts by two ways. That is, it activate glutamic acid decarboxylase or inhibited GABA transaminase. So they responsible for these two mechanisms by which it act on GABA receptor or it act on as a GABA modulator. One is that glutamic acid decarboxylase, that is different part, but it inhibits the GABA transaminase. So already we have studied what is GABA transaminase. Okay, it is the metabolism or enzyme required for the metabolism of GABA. So when we inhibit this enzyme, there is no metabolism or less metabolism of GABA. So more amount of GABA can be remain for the activity to binding to the receptor. Okay, that is one part. Another part, that is the glutamic acid decarboxylase. So all we know that glutamic acid is the amino acid. But what happens along with the amino acid? Glutamic acid is one of the neurotransmitter. So what is the role of this glutamic acid? So glutamic acid is the excitatory neurotransmitter. So if excitatory neurotransmitter is there, so the transfer of the impulses takes place fast. But if we decrease the excitatory neurotransmitter, then it will slow down the transfer of the impulses which is required in the treatment of convulsion or epilepsy. So the decarboxylase is the enzyme which is responsible for the metabolism of glutamic acid, and due to the metabolism of glutamic acid, as glutamic acid is the excitatory neurotransmitter, the concentration of glutamic acid decreases, and this decrease in the concentration of glutamic acid will decrease the faster firing or more firing of the neurons. So in this way the valproic acid act by activating the enzyme decarboxylase, which is responsible for the metabolism of glutamic acid. Okay, so due to the metabolism in glutamic acid, its concentration decreases, and due to the decrease in the concentration of excitatory neurotransmitter, we can somewhat control on the firing of neurons, which is required in the convulsion. Okay, so this is the mechanism by which they work. Then metabolism of valproic acid. So I will say this is acidic group. This carbon is 1. Okay, this is second, third, fourth, and fifth. So it is pentoic acid, and here methyl C3H7, so propyl pentanoic acid. So as we see that this is CH3, it is free group CH3, there is no substitution on this CH3, Hence, it is converted into the CH2OH, that is the hydroxylation of CH3 group, either this CH3 group or CH3 group from the C3H7. This hydroxylation results into the 3-hydroxy valproic acid, that is the metabolite product. Then this CH2OH, it will turns into the acidic group, that is the propyl glutaric acid. So that is the metabolite product of the valproic acid. So on COH there is a phase 2 metabolism, gluconate conjugation takes place, and it will lead to the inactivation of drug. Similarly, this CH2 is also free, there is no substitution of CH2, so it is also undergoing hydroxylation process, that is it forms CHOA. So it forms 4-hydroxy valproic acid. So these are the different metabolite products of the valproic acids. So generally valproic acid having pK value 4.7. So at a physiological pH, it is present in the ionized form. So its ionized form also is the pharmacologically active. Okay, so this is about the drug valproic acid. Next drug, progabide. So this is the structure of drug progabide. If you gone through the structure of drug progabide, you can find that it is a prodrug. It is a prodrug of gamma amino butyric acid. Okay, so we are discussing Parkinson's. That is, dopamine is responsible, or the decrease in the level of dopamine will leads into the Parkinsonia. So if we are to treat, it is possible that we can give the dopamine, but the drawback regarding dopamine is that it is hydrophilic, so it cannot cross the blood brain barrier, so it will not enter into the CNS. Why? Because it is hydrophilic, and CNS activity is present, they have to cross the blood brain barrier. Similarly, GABA, gamma aminobutyric acid, it consists of amine group as well as COH group. So it is the polar group. So they are hydrophilic, so it is difficult for them to cross the blood brain barrier. Hence, we cannot give the drug, that is the GABA, as a drug which act as a drug. Why? Because GABA is the polar, it cannot cross blood brain barrier. So what we can do? We can go for the prodrug of this GABA. What is prodrug? The prodrug means that if we make it lipophilic, it can cross blood-brain barrier, and when it enters into the CNS, the metabolism of drug will take place, which will relieve GABA, that is the gamma aminobutyric acid. So similarly, progabide is also prodrug which is the lipophilic in nature. So you can find out that there is a different groups are attached, aromatic groups and other groups. So it becomes lipophilic in nature. So it can cross the blood-brain barrier. When it enters into the CNS, it undergo metabolism and it leaves GABA. It leaves GABA, and this GABA showed its activity by binding to the receptor. So what is the structure of GABA? Gamma amino butyric acid. So butyric acid means acid with 4 carbons. Okay, so I will tell you. Okay, so what is the actually reaction takes place? This is progabide in presence of H plus and H2O. It converts into the GABA, which is the actual or which is the active drug. What is GABA? It is the gamma amino butyric acid. So butyric acid means 4 carbon, 1, 2, 3, 4 carbon. Okay, so butyric acid means 1 carbon will have COH, so it is acid. So this is alpha, this is alpha carbon, this is beta carbon, this is gamma. So gamma amino, so amine group will present on this carbon. So this is the gamma amino butyric acid, that is GABA. Then you can satisfy the valency. put CH2 here, CH2 here, CH2 here, so it becomes the GABA. So pro-GABAide, if in the exam they will ask you to write down, it is the pro-drug when GABAide does not having the lipophilicity, it is hydrophilic, so it cannot cross the blood-brain barrier, and when it cannot cross, it is not useful. But when we are giving the drug which is pro-drug and it is lipophilic, it can cross blood-brain barrier easily, and when it enters into the CNS, it will again undergo metabolism and it will give formation of GABA in presence of H plus and H2O, which will show the activity. So this is about the drug pro-GABAide. Then last drug, that is the gabapentin. It is the analog of GABA, again similar like pro-GABAide. This having the lipophilic nature, so it can cross the blood-brain barrier. When it enters into the CNS, it undergo metabolism and it will lead to the, or it will use GABAs. So you can check the structure 1, 2, 3, 4. That is the butyric acidic group and amine group. So it is the structure of amine butyric acid. Only this 6-member ring cyclohexane is attached to that one. Okay. So in this way, the gabapentin works as a prodrug. So pro-GABAide, gabapentin, these are the prodrugs. Okay. So this ends the chapter, that is anti-epileptic, anti-convulsant, or drug, or anti-seizure drugs.